Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 149 for June 25th, 2025. I am Nemesis, and I am joined by Alcatraz.
I'm older.
Yeah, he's older. By the time you him to hear this, he'll be older.
I'll be older.
Older. Old.
My shoulder hurts because I was doing yard work. I'm getting old.
Old.
Yeah,
a couple things, I guess, not old news, I guess.
Old
anime
news.
Anime news stuff. One thing, Free Ren, second season, they've now confirmed it will be coming in January, particularly January 2nd next year. So yeah, the late wait is almost over.
Yay! More Free Ren.
Free Ren. Yeah, so that's coming soon. And yeah, also I saw a trailer. They released a kind of a teaser trailer for the final season of My Hero Academia, which is coming this fall.
Actual final for real.
Yeah, hopefully they don't pull an Attack on Titan and extend it out 3 years for no good reason.
Final season, but the actual ending is gonna be in the next 3 movies. Oh God.
Well, that wasn't Attack on. They just kept making
they just keep adding on the season.
More and more parts. Final season, part 1, part 2, part 4.
But yeah, I was like, no, only 1 season. But then they'd go a movie to finish. Like,
So beyond that, though, I guess that's not what we're here to talk about. Those sort of things. We're here to talk about more gay stuff.
Gay.
It's still June.
So still gay.
Yep. Still very gay. It's extra gay.
Extra gay.
Yep. And we're actually talking about the anime Tadaima Okaeri.
Okaeri.
Yes, that's a very common thing you hear in anime in general because it's a very Japanese custom.
Yep.
But yeah, it's basically about a couple named Masaki and Hiromu Fujiyoshi. And their domestic life, they're raising their son, Hikari, and eventually their daughter, Hinata. And that's pretty much the gist of it. It's just them raising their children and domestic life and kind of all that comes with, including neighbors and all the things that come with possibly the thing.
It's
also
a slice of life going on.
Also there's the whole thing that one's an alpha and the other's an omega. Wait, what?
Yes, it's Omegaverse.
Omegaverse. And if you heard the Omegaverse, you might go, "Oh, what's that?" And other you, oh no, not Omegaverse. Omegaverse. Yeah, that's the big thing about this one. It's Omegaverse, and this is probably going to come up at some point. Now the Omegaverse is now starting to infect, I guess, mainstream things to a degree.
It's becoming popular.
I look forward / I'm terrified of the day that we get a major Hollywood blockbuster film which has Omegaverse. That'll be a fun day. So yeah, that's the thing is what is Omegaverse? I think that's one big thing we had to tackle before we get into the actual show, because what the heck is Omegaverse?
I think we can only get a cursory overview
because the show kind of actually doesn't really explain
that's actually
a whole lot.
Point that there you're getting a point that I actually wanted to bring up later on about the show and how it deals with Omegaverse. But yeah,
Omegaverse is also known as ABO, A/B/O.
Yep.
It's basically it came from Fujoshi, as you I expect. The straight women are at it again. But yeah, it actually originated with the supernatural fandom, which of course it did.
Of course it did.
Supernatural, because of course, if you don't know, Supernatural is about 2 brothers, hunting supernatural things, and a lot of the women who watch the show really like to ship the brothers together. Anyway, because it's supernatural, you could basically have a werewolf thing going on, and so wolf stuff was introduced. Incorrect wolf stuff, but still wolf stuff nonetheless. So the whole thing of basically everyone in Omegaverse, everyone has 2 sexes. They have, the sexes that, we kind of know of in the real world. But then the secondary one, which is the alpha, beta, and omega. And the whole thing about it is, it's again based off incorrect dynamics regarding wolf packs. Very incorrect, now known incorrect, as much as the guy who initially published keeps screaming how he's wrong. People keep propagating it anyway. It doesn't help with this popping up. But the whole thing is alphas are basically, the whole thing is there's some variants because, it's largely a fandom wide thing and multi-fandom wide thing. So
there's
people kind of set and choose and pick what they want to do.
Yeah, there's no one hard set Bible canon thing.
Yeah, but there is definitely a general.
But yeah. There's common grounding with.
So alphas are basically socially and sometimes physically dominant, depending on who's writing it.
Yeah.
They tend to also be very well, basic peak physical form. This is this is peak medical whatever.
Peak
natural leaders, short tempered. Betas are basically usually just regular people, or like maybe
normies.
a mix of alphas, omegas.
I guess they're the closest to normies.
Yeah, or sometimes there are actually a mix of alphas and omegas, and omegas are basically submissive and gentle, and they're calm and peacemakers, and the whole thing is so there's including there's the sex thing.
It is
including nodding.
That's a thing as well,
and heat cycles and all that stuff.
Yep, estrus,
scent marking, imprinting, all that. Everything. So beyond that, in a lot of Omegaverse, because Fujoshi made it, a lot of men you get mpreg as well. Because Fujoshi love their mpreg. Omegas can get pregnant via let's see, according to what I'm reading, a uterus connected to the rectum.
Yay!
That explains. I guess that answers my question about where the baby comes out.
Wasn't really wanting to have the question.
And also there's the whole thing of Omegas having self-lubricating anuses. Lovely.
I mean, biologically, that would make sense.
Yes,
if that's what it's intended for.
So that's the whole thing. Is also on top of that, in a lot of this fiction, Omegas are often kind of discriminated against, just because I guess we got to have a bit of extra drama.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of supposed to be along the lines of how women can be are discriminated against in real life. I guess that's the idea here, that they're the lesser sex or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a number of, depending on how the author wants to use it in particular. That's sort of one of the things I was saying. Like we already said, it's very gay.
Yeah.
So if there's mpreg, there's male, and the lead characters here, the main characters, is a gay couple. But in the universe that's established, being gay is normal and fine, and no one cares. But there still needs to be a conflict.
Mm.
So the Omegaverse types are now the bigotry.
Yep.
So we're using the Omegaverse types as a stand-in for whatever the current, normie bigotry is.
Mm-hmm.
Normalize that and create a new one so we still have conflict. And it's either, like you brought up, it's either misogyny, hatred against women, and they're the lesser sex, so they get treated worse, or it's the stand-in for homophobia.
Yeah, that too.
That I think in this particular one, it might be treated more as it's sort of like an inverse homophobia, because I see less. Oh, you're an Omega, so you're lesser of a person. But in this one, they treat more like the pairings.
Mm-hmm.
Is more the focus of the bigotry in this particular anime.
Just give you an idea. Also, Omegaverse dates back to somewhere around 2010, 2011. It wasn't really properly called Omegaverse till about 2011, though. But so fun times.
Yeah.
Beyond that, most Omegaverse tends to be, boy love. There is some Yuri stuff versus we have girls' penises. And there is some straight stuff, but most people kind of find that boring because, what's the point then? What's the point? It's no different really than just normal straight sex. There's a whole thing also. There's also another aspect which is not brought up thankfully in this anime, but there is definitely an aspect which I can't really ignore, which is a lot of Omegaverse fanfic does get into the, shall we say, we can describe it at best, dubious consent.
Dubious consent. Yeah, that's fortunately
not really a thing here.
In this anime, that does not come up.
Well, you kind of somewhat hint at it a little bit, but not a whole. They don't really get into it.
Yeah.
But regardless, the Omegaverse
they also
thing.
don't bring up any of the werewolves.
Well, the werewolf thing has largely been dropped from Omegaverse because that was largely just because it was supernatural.
Yeah,
literally supernatural. The show.
But there's no wolf penises.
We don't
see any
them.
of that.
Again, this is much.
They don't
this
talk
is very
about
clean.
that.
This is very clean, but it's implied. Especially since there is a man gets pregnant and they have their own biological children and all that stuff.
And they do bring up pheromones.
Yeah, the pheromones and the
pheromones
and
is a
very
thing.
common thing, which is the prescriptions for suppressing them.
Suppressing, yeah.
And also marking.
Yes, and then
That's
there's
also
the
a big
marking
thing later, but
that's the thing.
Regardless, in this, let's see, Masaki is the Omega, and Hiromu is the Alpha, and the relationship together. And the thing is, again, there's a whole thing where like Hiromu's parents initially do not like Masaki because he's an Omega, and they think Hiromu was making a mistake, and there's a whole thing there because, again, be with, you're an Alpha. What are you doing?
Yeah, alphas should be with alphas, betas with betas, and omegas with omegas, kind of a thing, or whatnot.
Something like that. And but regardless, they are together and they have a child. And I'm trying to think of really, like, again, it's that the whole thing is just them raising their child while being an alpha omega couple, which you see the kind of that weird, a couple examples of that weird backhanded, that's not, I support, it's just,
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Weird backhanded thing.
That unintentional bigotry.
The person says something stupid and they, I didn't mean like that. You know how it is.
Yeah, and then they dig themselves a deeper hole as they try
dig
to
up stupid.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah, we see that a couple of times, and most of it. We see most of the characters tend to be male.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a couple of women here and there, but like neighbor and whatnot. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot of them. Because again, Omegaverse tends to focus on gay couples because, well, that's what the fanfic writers want. And because of that, you got this whole thing going on. And obviously, Omegaverse made it to Japan, and now it's hitting light novels and manga. Now because of that, it's now hitting anime.
Mm.
But yeah, we kind of see that. Hiromu himself, he's a businessman. He works for, I believe, it was a construction company.
A fairly prominent one.
Worked for one, but he's working for a rival of this construction company's dad owns to get experience before he takes over his dad's company. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, Hiromu's also kind of you can see he's very possessive, very protective of Masaki and his child.
Mm-hmm.
And also he also has those moments where he's like, oh, I have to record this because it's so cute.
Yeah, he's very weak to the cuteness.
Yeah, but Masaki is very, very shy, quiet, kind of awkward. And part of that's because, well, a lifetime of discrimination, including his parents kind of bringing him up like, listen, you're an Omega, which means you're going to face some crap.
Yep.
So he's kind of more very, very withdrawn. He's particularly when the fact he's an Omega gets brought up at all, he becomes extra withdrawn.
Yep, because it's a trauma response.
And part of that is because he's living in a world where he's kind of surrounded by tons of alphas, and it's just it's a weird thing. It's like it's like the hey, you're white, and guess who's coming to dinner, right?
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Where that person is now in a really awkward place because everyone's kind of giving me second weird looks and. Either they look like they want to kill me, or they look like they feel really sorry for me. I don't like either of those.
Yep.
And Hikari is a little baby, so he's just a cutie. That's it. He's just a cute little kid, and he's got the personality of a 2-year-old, which is there's not much of one there other than being two. Yes.
Although again, surprise, 2-year-olds in fictional universes are angels compared to 2-year-olds in real life.
Of course.
They're just cute and great to have around. No, they're not. They're terrors.
Yep. Terrible 2s for a reason.
Yep. And 3 ain't any better.
And Hinata's even less of a character because, well, she's a newborn for most of this. They do eventually meet a neighbor who, well, initially doesn't really want to because he's an antisocial teenager. Well, young adult. Yuki Hirai, about that system of his mother, he kind of befriends them and, kind of makes a bond with the little kid. And then because he makes a connection to another friend of them, who was it? Tomohiro? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Tomohiro Matsuo, who's a friend of Hiromu's from work. And they make a bond to the point of people kind of making jokes about the two of them. People start making reference like, "Hey,
you two are getting
nothing happens in the anime, but it's pretty clear they're set up for something to eventually happen between the two of them." There's also there's a drama with Aoto Mochizuki. Aoto
Mochizuki.
Masaki meets him eventually, and Aoto and his son Michiru run into each other, and their kids start playing with each other. Everything's fine, and then Alto's also Omega, and then he finds out eventually that because they keep missing each other, he keeps wanting to meet Masaki's husband, and it turns out Hiromu's an alpha, and then things get really awkward because
Very awkward, very fast.
You're basically, it's kind of, oh, you're a traitor. Basically, Masaki, oh, you're a traitor, Masaki. I see how it is.
Yeah, and just immediately grabs his kid and leaves. And like, nope, we'll never see each other again.
And there's a really tense bit because apparently Aoto's putting off some serious pheromones and it's kind of messing with Hiromu a little bit.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Apparently Aoto has a thing where he puts out more than he should.
Yeah. Also, it's also the whole thing where his partner passed away, and
Yeah.
So that kind of creates that's probably also an extra thing there too, because kind of that could create a weird psychological effect of, you're kind of lonely. And,
yeah. Maybe they don't go into that.
Yeah, but there's some implication of like possible loneliness is affecting his pheromone output too.
It could.
Beyond, there was a whole bit of tension there. Eventually, it comes around. That's at the very end. It comes around eventually, but he's just lots of apologizing. But yeah, it was just again trauma response.
Yep.
Because again, Omegas are so discriminated against that. Yeah, it's kind of like why would you be with an alpha? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
It's messed up.
I don't get it though.
Yeah, because he also, then afraid for his child because Michiru and Hikari were good friends, and him. Oh, is Hikari also an alpha? Yeah, that sort of thing. And the other thing was Yuki's beta, and first Yuki's kind of trying to get Aoto's. I remember that Yuki's trying to get Aoto's attention. Aoto's about ready to bolt, and like, oh no, I'm a beta. Oh, okay. And then there's also the twins.
Oh, the
Shuto and
twins
Muto.
are
Matsuo,
who
are younger brothers of Tomohiro.
Twins.
Yeah, they're twins, and they also who was it?
They're messing with Yuki.
Yeah, messing with Yuki a lot, and also messing with the kids too.
Oh yeah,
that backfired on them.
Yeah, that backfired on them.
Then eventually they meet Aoto, and they go, "Oh, he's our type." Uh-oh, Aoto's in trouble.
Aoto,
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Yeah. They're very stereotypical twins.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get one or the other. They're
both.
They're a package deal.
And also the creepy twin thing.
Yeah, the creepy finishing in their each other's sentences or speaking in unison or whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And completely unaware of it somehow. What do you mean? What are you talking about? But yeah, so a lot of it is just kind of a lot of it really focuses on Masaki just kind of dealing with the environment he's in, namely that he's an Omega mostly surrounded by alphas and having to deal with that, including the awkwardness of just, other alphas being, trying not to be, I guess, discriminatory and kind of putting their foot in the mouth constantly, and also actual discrimination as well. I say actual, but, more blatant discrimination, and
it's almost
so on and
like
so forth.
Being gay in a culture that's only just getting used to.
Or just in general, kind of, it's not just gay, because you could also say, like, this is like,
as an example.
A white teenager brings home their black
exactly
significant other, and the family being really weird about it.
Yeah. But also, like, out in when they're out in public and making a comment and, I don't mean, it can go all the ways. Another good example.
Well, the problem is this, there's very much the potential of, like, what happens a lot, which is any sort of fantasy bigotry can really go bad real quick.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't quite do that. There's a couple times I was like, because it's like, yeah, but.
Yeah, that's always an interesting one in storytelling when bigotry is introduced. A lot of people are like, oh, it shouldn't have. There's bigotry in this story, so the story itself is bad. You shouldn't.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you do need to show that there is bigotry in the universe because it is a point that it is bad. But sometimes when you do it wrong,
it can come across as real tone deaf.
Exactly. So you got to know what you're doing, and it can be kind of tough to deal with.
But also, a lot of people need to get better media literacy.
And people definitely need to get better at media literacy. Yeah.
But,
that is a major issue.
Yeah, large chunk of it really is just a lot of it is just very soft and fuzzy.
Yeah, it's.
But then it's also then counterweighted with the whole discriminatory aspect that Masaki faces all through all of it.
Yep,
so it's a very interesting dynamic going on there.
A lot of
and I think it balances it really well too.
Honestly, yeah, to balance the fluffiness and the cuteness, and then now we're gonna do something more serious, and we're gonna deal with the darker side of things and the actual, plot what there is.
Yeah.
Again, it's a slice of life, so there isn't any real long plot going on. It's just showing their daily life and the difficulties of being in a culture that isn't, I guess, meant for them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Masaki was marked by Hiromu, which is apparently a big deal.
Yes, apparently that's a thing between
The
alphas
bite.
and omegas is the bite mark.
Yeah.
That apparently it's not just a visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about Omegaverse, but apparently that's there's an actual biological thing that goes on. With
It's
the Mark
kind of
II.
something like that. It's again based off incorrect understanding of wolves.
One of the things I noted and how it deals with the it's an anime about Omegaverse. So what if you don't know what Omegaverse is? We had to do a description. I would say that's almost required to have some pre-knowledge of it going into this, but not really. It's kind of a weird one.
They somewhat explain some things, but they don't go super in depth on any of it, really.
Exactly. It's Omegaverse, and they do explain it, but only surface level, basically only just enough. But they do kind of explain it a little late. They just start right off the bat. They start using terms, Omegaverse terms, with no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see if you didn't know it was Omegaverse or know what Omegaverse is. You could jump in it and get kind of confused. You might be able to piece it together afterwards, but it could use a little bit of upfront explanation.
I feel like this is very much made for people who are pretty much immersed in that already.
Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like.
Like if you're checking this out, you probably already know what Omegaverse is.
Yeah,
and probably have read or written several of them yourself. So
this is the first.
I think there's enough that you don't really need to have a bunch of knowledge about it, but there's just enough there you can still enjoy it, even if you're kind of a little lost in some of the concepts. You can look them up later. Hopefully you don't run into anything too don't, let's just say, when you look up Omegaverse, if you're going to research Omegaverse, don't do it at work.
Don't do it at work. Yeah, like this was my first actual exposure to Omegaverse. I knew it existed.
You were aware of it,
very
partially
much for
because
telling me about it.
Yes, I'm very much willing to share with you curse knowledge.
Yeah. So I wasn't super horribly lost. So you don't really need a huge amount, but you definitely want a little bit at least.
I think we gave someone enough of a crash course to help with that, if you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
On top of that, the animation itself is also pretty good. I mean,
it's pretty good.
Like it's nothing. I don't think there's anything egregious about it. It does what it needs to do.
Yep.
The music is also in the does what it needs to do.
It does what it needs to do. Yeah. Yeah.
I think pretty good standout on that front.
Yep.
As for who did it anyway? Who was
this
Studio Dean?
Studio Dean. That sounds familiar.
Dean. I know we've talked about them. Oh yeah, they did some more recent work on the more recent Sailor Moon Cosmos. Sasaki Tomiyano. They did that. That's why we know about him. Junji Ito, Maniac. That was the Netflix one, not the one we watched. Yeah, more Sailor Moon. I'm seeing Hatalia's World. Oh, Hatalia World Star. So
Hatalia World
more
Stars.
Gay stuff. The Tomie for the one we did watch. They did some of the Junjo Ito stuff for the one we did watch.
Yep.
They did some Konosuba.
Tomi and
Ao Oni. Yeah, so we have mentioned them before. That's why we... Oh, Sakura Trick as well.
Sakura Trick.
That looks like Miku. Those are Mikus, yep. I remember bringing that up last time. Those are Miku things.
Oh, yeah. There's some Miku things.
Oh, Umineko. So yeah, they've done quite a few things that go back. How far was it again? They go pretty far back.
Quite a bit. They've been around
90s.
a little bit.
I'm already back in the 80s. Oh, sorry, they also did Ranma. The original Ranma.
The original Ranma.
1981. And there was Yatsuda. So yeah, they've been around a while.
Initial D. Yeah.
As for the characters themselves, Masaki is voiced by Atsushi Tamaru. Well, Witch Watch, that's the thing airing right now. Kinnikuman. Huh. The recent Kinnikuman stuff. Oshinoko. No, Shadow House. Fruits Basket. Oh, one of the characters in Fruits Basket.
Not really.
The recent remake. Gundam Build Divers. Darling in the Frank. Boruto. Sword Art Online.
I don't know the dudes that well.
And I'm just looking at that. Yeah. Hiromu was voiced by Toshiyuki Morikawa. Undead Unlock. Oh, in the Boku no Hero Academia Illegals.
Interesting.
The Evangelante one.
Apparently there's a Lord of the Rings anime. Interesting.
Yeah, there was a... Oh, he's in Demon Slayer.
High card.
High card.
High card.
Oh, there's Pokemon. Mungo Stray Dogs.
Dogs.
Oh, Leon
Marginal
Kennedy. Leon Kennedy in Biohazard Death Island.
Marginal Service.
Yeah. Buddy Daddies. Oh, that one. I remember that one. Oh, there's Pip-Me.
That's
what Bondrewd in Made in Abyss.
Bleach.
The best father ever. In competition with, Kendo.
Gendo.
Who's the best?
And Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And Sephiroth.
Oh, Fruits Basket again.
Sephiroth.
Fruits Basket again. Assassin's Pride. Oh, Black Clover.
Got some credits here. Definitely got some credits.
Oh, there's One Piece. Okay, I was like, wait, that looks like a One Piece character, sure enough. Oh, there's a JoJo. Oh, Yoshikage Kira. He just wants to live a quiet life. Optimus Prime. Transformers Go.
For you.
Transformers Go, that thing. Yeah, that was the weird one. The last anime from Transformers, because they just stopped after that because Hasbro pretty much took over. That's the thing. The child Hikari Atsumi Tanizaki, I know for a fact she is the voice of Anya in Spy Family.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Frieren as well. Speaking of, Frieren. Precure, Beastars, Nier Automata. Oh, she's Lady Nagant in My Hero Academia as well.
Which I think if it's free run, then we've gone through most of these.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the baby noise. Like that sounds like Anya. Sure enough, it literally is the same voice she uses for Anya.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Yeah, baby
voice.
And a 4-year-old.
How many baby voice is there?
Hinata, the other baby, Konomi Kawahara. Oh, the rascal does not dream of bunny girl senpai. Except the new thing as well. Chika in Kagu, Love Means War. Chika. Oh,
Chika.
There she is in Bocchi the Rock.
Yep.
As a minor character. And there's Yuko Gambare Shamiko. And from a Demon Girl Next Door. And then, Yuki, voiced by Taku Yashihiro.
Gundam Build Divers.
Yashihiro, that's what I said. Oh, the Isekai Suicide Squad.
Oh,
I recognize that one because I know the ED very well.
Yeah.
Go Getters.
Bakugan.
Chainsaw Man. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, Sword Art Online, Alicization.
Pocket Monsters.
But of course. Tomohiro Korosuke Toriumi. Oh, Sakamoto Days. I know that. There's Pocket Monsters. Maruku-chan. Oh, I know who that is. That's the dad.
The dad.
In Maruku-chan. The dead one. Oh, hey, that My Hero Academia movie, the one that was really great until the part you didn't like at the very end.
Oh, that one.
The mummy guy played him. The guy with the covered in bunch of red string ribbon things or whatever. The one of the villains. Guido, Mista, and JoJo.
More JoJo.
There's another Pip and me. Oh, I know that name. Michiru, voiced by Kaide Hondo. That's a name. Guess who that is?
I know that name.
Yeah, Sakura from Zombieland Saga.
Yep.
Okaeri from 100 Girlfriends. Laika from Slime 300 Years. And a bunch of other stuff. We talked about her multiple times. There's Haruka in Nichio.
Yeah, this one's appeared a few
Nichigasuki.
times.
Yeah, she's appeared a lot in the stuff we watch. She's very prolific. Yeah, and Alto Shintaro Asanuma. Yeah, and it's the last one I'm going to talk about because he's probably the last major important character. There's a Pip and me again.
We got 3?
Yep. Oh, Given. Oh, he's the older one than the main couple, I think. The Given. That gay band boys.
Yeah. I know Given. No, he's the one with the drummer.
Is he?
Yeah. Think.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think he's the violinist.
You're right.
So he's the one with the drummer. That's your problem. You got with the drummer. That's never gonna. It's always gonna be a ride.
Oh, Psycho-Pass. 2006. Oh, there's One Piece. Another One Piece.
Found the One Piece.
Yeah, so quite a few big names in here.
Yep.
Yeah, overall, it's actually pretty solid anime.
Yep, it is solid.
There's
fluffy.
definitely the whole thing. You're going to have to at least know some basic Omegaverse knowledge, or else you're going to be lost somewhat. I think it's still followable, but yeah, you're going to enjoy it a little bit more if you at least have some knowledge of the Omegaverse. And whether or not you want to have that knowledge is kind of up to you. I can understand why you might be kind of uncomfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a thing.
Particularly since you can argue about the whole Fujoshi and fetishization of gay men, but yeah. You can argue about that a lot with the good arguing Fujoshi. Yeah, overall I think it's pretty solid. It's fun. It's very soft, very fluffy. There's no, for the most part, there is some drama, but really it's pretty low stakes.
It is. It's
not
low stakes.
That's not high. It's not a huge excitement about it. So yeah, it's
the fate of the world is not at stake.
Yeah, probably. You are the chosen Omega. What?
You'll bring balance to the Omegaverse.
Oh God. Spider-Man into the Omegaverse.
Oh God.
That changed the tone, all right. So anyway, that's it for this one, I guess. If you like what you heard, you can tune into other episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com, spelled Libsyn. If you want to check us out there, you can subscribe to our SS feed there, and also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or Amazon Podcasts, or Music, or whatever the hell they're calling it. You can find us there. Most of those are also buttons at the top of the Libsyn site. And you can also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com, if you have any questions or comments or anime recommendations or whatnot. There's that. And, of course, you can also follow us on our various social medias, all listed at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact, and you can, just click one of the links and follow us, and there you go. So that's it. That also brings us to the end of June, actually.
End of June.
End of June. Next time it will be July. We come back, will be July.
And
we're going to talk about Princess Principal Crown Handler Chapter 3.
We're finally coming back to those things.
Yeah, just Crown Handler Chapter 4 comes out in Japan. Because this just came out on Blu-ray only a few months ago, at least in the West.
Yeah, here.
No, right, we're finally getting on that again. It's been a minute since we've done Princess Principal.
Yeah, it has definitely been a minute.
Remember, there's still after this will be another 3 movies.
Holy crap. I have to remember
again,
what keeps going
out in Japan.
What's happening.
So, hopefully there's some sort of recap, or at least we'll just quickly look at the Wikipedia article or something just to give ourselves a recap, because it's been a minute. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy your summer, because now summer, despite the fact our locally is trying not to be summer right now.
It was summer earlier. It was very hot, and now that summer has started, it has rained.
Washington.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy your summer. Hope you stay safe. Fight the good fight, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.